Hi, good Sunday afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to show you, I've started a new diet program, I guess you could say. And I used to do lean cuisines on the frozen section, and I had a friend of mine show me how to do meal preps. So I'm going to start doing meal preps for the week. So today I'm doing a chicken and vegetable. So I'm going to start the oven while I get all the vegetables and the chicken ready. 375, and it'll go in the oven for about 35 minutes. So I'm going to cut up the vegetables first and then do the chicken. So here goes. So I'm just using peppers. You can use whatever vegetable you want, but I just do red pepper, and these are sweet peppers. If you're into spicy, you can do spicy, but I don't like spice, so I just use sweet pepper. And you just cut it all up. And this is, I like this recipe because you put it all on one sheet pan and cook it all into the oven at one time. And then it comes out, and then you can put it in your little containers for the week. And it works out perfectly for my lunches for work. So, and it also makes good dinners. That's going to be one of the things we do later. For dinner is a different one. The one later for dinner is going to be like a kind of like a Southwest one. It has a queso sauce. To it, but just cut your veggies up into bite-sized pieces, throw them on the sheet pan. You do your veggies first, and then you can use the same cutting board for your chicken, and then you're only dirtying one cutting board. Saves on dishes. And I'm going to use, for the rice portion for this, because I want rice this week with it, I'm going to use a boil in a bag rice, because I like that. The one I'm going to make tonight for our dinner, I'm going to use chicken broth with it, but this one to make for my lunches, I'm just going to do water, and I'm going to do it in the microwave to do faster, but tonight I'm going to do it on the stovetop so that I can use the chicken broth. But for this one, for my lunches, I'm just going to do it in the microwave for a faster version. I'm just going to use, like I said, peppers and then an onion, because I like the roasted onion. You could use whatever. If it's summertime, I would use squash to go with it, like a nice summer squash out of the garden, because my parents do a garden in the summertime, so I would use that. But it's supposed to be spring here in New York, but we got like 6 to 8 inches of snow yesterday, so Mother Nature still doesn't really know what season it is yet. So there's that. But I just cut the top off, and then the seeds come right out with the whole thing. Makes it easy. You just take the guts out, and then you have your pepper to cut up, and no seeds. I think I saw that trick on a cooking show once. And I have yet to find the trick that you can cut up an onion that doesn't make you cry. So if anybody has that trick, feel free to put that in the comments because I'd love to know that answer. Because I've yet to know the trick that you can cut an onion and not make you cry. But I just cut it as quick as I can and get done with it. And everything's just cut into big chunks. Nothing special, nothing fancy, just big old chunks and thrown on the sheet pan. And I use, for this, I use boneless, skinless chicken breast for the chicken. And then for the seasoning of everything, you can use whatever you'd like. I use a seasoning mix. I'll show you that in a minute. Get everything all cut up here. And here goes the onion. Yes, I know I don't have the sharpest knife. I need to get my knives sharpened because they've gotten kind of dull. So, yeah, I gotta find a knife sharpener. Sorry, gotten very dull. Ooh, this onion does not look great. Ugh, nasty. This onion looks really disgusting. That's pretty pathetic because that was one of the ones we just bought yesterday. It's got like mold or something on it. It's really nasty. Can't really trust the stuff you buy in the supermarket. Ugh. It's really nasty. Alright, you know what? Okay, went to the fridge, got a new onion, washed my hands up, and so I just cut it in half, and then in half and in chunks, and throw it on there. Okay. There's the veggies on the thing. Okay, so now veggies are all set. This is just what they look like on the platter. So now onto the chicken. I cut it into strips and then just cut it into good sized chunks. Oh, my eyes are watering from that onion. Ooh. So if I didn't have enough issues with my sinuses today. Gracious. And the second piece of chicken. And again, just cut it into strips and just cut it into chunks like about this big. And on the ladder. I'm going to wash my hands. So then you take olive oil, any brand. This is just BJ's olive oil, and drizzle it all over everything. And then I just use this roasted garlic and herb seasoning and liberally spread it all over my veggies and my chicken. And then mix it all up. Come on, give my hands another wash. And my stove has already told me that it's preheated. And so this is what it looks like on your sheet pan before it goes into the oven. So then you just stick it in your oven for 35 minutes. And stir it halfway through. Oops. Okay. And while that's doing that thing, I'm going to stir up a batch of cookies as well. So the cookies I make with this PB2 powder, which is a peanut butter protein powder. I also have a peanut butter chocolate version of that, and it's really good. It's a healthier version of peanut butter cookies. So they're a little lower in calories and all of that. So while my chicken is in the oven, I'm going to mix this up some cookies. And just so you know, these are Clif approved, so you know that they're good. So I'm going to mix these up and show you how that's done. Let's see if I can find a higher spot to, I don't know, put the camera so that, yeah, I know my kitchen's got, anyways. So in these is a cup of butter, a cup of sugar and egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of the PB2 powdered peanut butter, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I just kind of shake in the salt. I don't measure the salt. Then you combine it and you put them on little balls on the baking sheet, and so you cream together the sugar and the butter. To start with. So let me grab a spatula. Alright. Measuring cup. Okay, so we need sugar. I've already got the butter all measured, and yes, I typically use sticks of butter to make it easier, but I forgot to buy sticks of butter at the grocery store this week, so I just measured it out of the big tub of butter that we had already, so I got that measured before I started my chicken thing, so that it would be softening up. Well, it already is soft because it's in the tub, but so. So, there's my cup of butter, there's my cup of sugar, I mean. Sunday, clearly can't talk. My cup of butter. And then you just cream these together with your mixer until they're nice and light and fluffy. It should look like all nice and creamed together. And then you add your 1 egg and your vanilla. And these are fresh chicken eggs. Thanks to Cliff's sister. We appreciate the fresh chicken eggs. Cheaper than the store eggs. And tastes way better. So you put that in. And your teaspoon of vanilla. And I haven't measured vanilla in quite some time. I just put a splash in there. Just mix that up till it's combined. And then you add the rest of your dry ingredients, which I do measure my baking soda. Find my, which is a half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. The salt, again, I don't measure, I just shake and touch because it's just for activation. And then it's 1.5 cups of flour. And sometimes I do add chocolate chips to these for a treat, but not today. So there's the one. And half cups of flour. And then it's your 3/4 of your cup of your PB powder. And I know at first when I first was told about using peanut butter powder, I was like, ew, what is that? But it is actually really, really tasty. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I go finish up the other container first. Because I have an open container of it. But it just... It's powdered peanut butter. It's really not. Like I said, when I first was told about it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really yucky. But you can use it in smoothies, you can use it in all sorts of things, but it smells fantastic. And it tastes. It makes your cookies, your baking really good. And there's a recipe I also have that a friend of mine taught me about. If you take Cool Whip and you stir up this peanut butter powder in the Cool Whip, you got to take a 1/4 cup of water and stir the powder into a peanut butter like consistency, and then add the Cool Whip, and it's a nice dessert. Oh, it tastes fantastic. But the longer you let that sit, the more flavor it has, and it's delicious. It really is a nice treat, and it's healthy. Okay, so we stir these up. You just use a mixer. And it'll be the same consistency of any cookie. I take a minute when they're almost mixed and use my little spatula to scrape the sides so that everything gets incorporated. And it's almost time to stir up my chicken. And then, yeah, very peanut buttery. Okay, unplug that so that doesn't get me. And okay, here's the cookies all on the cookie sheet ready to go in. Now they are going to be a softer dough than your typical cookies just because of the powdered peanut butter. But all right, so looks like it's time to stir the chicken. So I'll be right back with you. So there's what it looks like. And I got the rice cooking. That's got a few more minutes. And that's got about 11 more minutes. And then we'll get it cooled and get it packaged up. Okay, so I just took it out of the oven a few minutes early. So I'm just using this meat thermometer that I have. I don't know if you guys can see it very good. And stabbing it. As long as it reads 165 for the chicken. which it reads 180. You're good, so I am going to take this out and let it cool before I package it up into my little individual things. So I'm going to set this over here and let it cool. And I'm going to go ahead, turn this off, timer off, and turn the, oops, wrong way. Turn this down for the cookies. And they usually take 12 minutes, but because the oven is already hot and very hot, I'm only going to put it in for, I will check them in 10. And the rice is almost done. Okay, so there's my rice all complete. Now I just got to let everything cool so I can package it up into my containers for the week. And my cookies are baking. And we'll take those out in a few minutes. And there you have it. There is meal prep for the week for me. And there's the cookies about to come out of the oven. Perfect timing. Okay, first batch of cookies is out of the oven. Meals are prepped, done in their containers, all set for me for lunches. So, now I get to enjoy a cookie. Delicious. Okay, enjoy your week, everybody. Just have an easy way to enjoy meal prep. And an easy, healthy dessert. Have a great week, all. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Till next time, have a great week, everybody.